Monita, you have a really interesting background to me because you spent at least, if I'm not mistaken, a decade at, was it Chase and American Express? Do I have that right? Yeah. And now you're at HKT. So I'd love it if you could just introduce yourself to the audience so they know who you are.
Yeah, hi everybody. First of all, thanks to the Circle team and Elizabeth having me today. I've spent the first part of my life in banking, retail banking mainly, American bank. But subsequently, along the bubbles of internet, I joined Hong Kong Telecom.
Yeah.
It's something that we can't miss. But in the last 20 years, I really sort of witnessed how technology can change our everyday life and how a big enterprise have to prepare ourselves to gear up ourselves for the new technological changes to make ourselves continue to survive on these evolutions.
Exactly. And I think what's interesting is that now with cryptography and blockchain and this new sort of era of money movement, you're able to take the 10 years earlier in your career and apply it to something like HKT where there's just so much utility value. So we have very exciting collaboration that we're talking about today. We want to let the world know about. But I don't want to steal the thunder. I would love for you to explain what we're doing with programmable wallets and so forth in HKT in this collaboration.
Yeah, I think I'm very excited about the last presentation that your product team has been presenting. There's a lot of new models around all these smart contract and blockchain technologies. Now at the HKT Digital Ventures, we have been involved in a number of fintech projects, including digital wallets as well as virtual banking. We're also involved in driving customer loyalty and engagements for many years, and we will soon be extended to our digital wallet. Now, while we are planning for our product development roadmap, we found Web3 technologies in customer engaging is relatively open and dynamic and transparent, and that's how we met Circle. Now, we are very excited to work with Circle on exploring and to build the next generation loyalty programs on the Circle's suite of Web3 solutions that somebody has presented earlier. We were also aware that Circle has been working with various brands and digital wallets in other countries and regions, and they do demonstrate their end-to-end capabilities in rolling out real features to the merchants and consumers live in production. So we are very excited to continue to work with the Circle team to build these kind of next generation platforms in Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong retail market really need a booster, particularly when the economy is still sluggish. But I guess this kind of game-changing loyalty platform is able to help it to scale up and to leapfrog.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Something that's very interesting about this collaboration in particular is, and I talk about this often just in terms of like my own career arc, is connecting people through the power of technology and the power of network effects. It does an enormous amount for equity and enabling people to actually connect with each other as humans. I'd love for you to speak a bit more about your values and how they inform your leadership at Digital Ventures.
Yeah, I agree. Innovation is really all about connecting people with the power of technologies. But I think we can't survive just hang on to faith and belief.
Hope is not a strategy.
No, hope, exactly. So I think there are really tangible values that our team share with the Circle teams. I would say there are 5 of it. One is we both share the desire to kill the pain point for our clients by eliminate the intermediaries. Okay. Drive down the costs. Build the ecosystem, be it for the blockchain ecosystem or the traditional internet ecosystem. The second is I think we both advocate for platform building. Because platform building can encourage collaboration between different units, connecting the dot into a single system where people can have access to the same system easily. So that's second. The third is very similar to telco. We really promote interoperability between networks. only with the interoperable platforms where people can create the kind of community building approach so that everybody can have to speak the same language and operate in a secure platforms, no worry about the audit and all that. That's just the way to create some of standardizations so that everybody have a good platform and secure platform to work on. So that's the third.
Yeah. And also, if I just might add, you enable the end user, the technology just works for the end user. They don't need to worry about how it's working underneath. So
exactly. Exactly. And the fourth is really, I think everybody knows, Circles is really putting a lot of focus on regulatory clarity. Now, in your space, it's about moving money. But in our space, it's really about driving operation efficiency gain. Not only for a big company like ourselves with a lot of legacies, but we also, the way we want to really transform ourselves to the way how we serve our clients, including enterprise, merchants, as well as consumer. But last but not least is really, as a responsible entity in Hong Kong, we really concerns about customer protections. Now, customer protections is not only the job of a regulator, but as a responsible provider, we need to have make the good choice of technologies. And this technologies is able to safeguard our users from scam, fraud, as well as the associated risks around the coming digital money, the proliferations of digital assets, as well as tokenized AW real world assets. I think we have to prepare ourselves so that we can leapfrog when the wave is coming. So that's how HKT has been working recently with Circle.
No, that's wonderful. So telcos have been around a long time, and their history is kind of interesting. I'm curious, from your perspective, especially being a veteran in that industry, what lessons does telco history hold for us as we shape this next evolution of technological change?
Well, serving the local population for over a century, I think we grow on our roller coasters. And we do witness a lot of really huge technological evolutions in the past centuries. But I think our mission is really to maintain the sort of connectivity infrastructures and resilience to support all these innovations. And more importantly, is about customer-facing convenience. So to make sure that our customers is able to use any kind of innovative service seamlessly. Now, but most relevant lessons learned I want to share today is about how we manage the technology debts. The world is changing fast. I think we have gone through painful process like the wireless broadband service from the 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and some say 6Gs. And it's really a myth about how to strive a perfect balance between agilities, profitabilities, and usabilities. So it's, we don't have the formula. No one has the winning formula, but I think it's a matter of balancing and how we migrate ourselves through the way. Now, there are, we have a lot of chance to talk with different vendors. I think there are vendors who come with a solutions that quick fix, but at the expense of something. At the expense of, the society, and some are really betting on the short-term future. But there are also vendors like Circle, I must say. They are coming with the values for building for sustainable growth. This is something that the HKT team treasure very much. So when we talk to, we have technology discussion with our internal team. Very often we ask our CTO, well, you are tasked to do something for the company, digital transformations, and give me a plan. But I think most of the CTO will be struggle with the challenge around, that could be one of high setup fee and how to justify it with the CFO. But I guess all CTO within big enterprise they would think if they make the right decision on the choice of the right technologies, which is future-proof, and they can prove that they got a marginal increase of cost, can help the company to scale up, and then this could be the game changer for the company to leapfrog and to scale up. I think this is a kind of motto that has been going around within our company. Whether Web3 technologies is the right technology, I really don't have the crystal balls. But I guess when the world is moving towards digital money, moving towards more digital assets, moving towards tokenized wallets, I think as a big company like us, we cannot afford not to jump onto the boat, try to gear up ourselves, learn on it. I think more experimentations is only can keep us away from the endless in the technology. That's the way we try to plan through.
It's interesting. Everything you're talking about here is really sort of at the cutting edge of this new wave of financial technology, this new era that we're already in. Hong Kong, HKT is a very large company. So when you think about innovation...
As compared to the States, it's really tiny.
Okay,
as compared to the
fair enough.
Very tiny.
Fair enough. But as you think about mobilizing a company of your size, perhaps smaller than others, but it's still fairly large, how do you think about innovating at a company of that size? I'm just like, how do you get people galvanized to move in that kind of new direction? You touched on this a little bit before, but I'm curious about the angle of you being a large company trying to embrace innovation in a space that's still somewhat unclear. This space that so many of us in this room are part of now.
Now, as a telco that served the local populations for decades, I guess we starting to realize that the service and product that we offer into the market is commoditized. Frankly, the fiber that is serving you is the same as the fiber that we are serving by our competitors. So we have to think of an incremental revenue stream and differentiation, but in a cost-effective way.
Right.
Now, we do have gone through the revolutions. I still remember the time when we served the first generation of the internet. We understand more about what the Web 1, which is sort of a static type of internet service. And then we migrated systems to Web 2, which is the Facebook, the social media interactive platforms. And then the up and coming decentralized Web 3s, which we don't know, but we think it's probably take time to really into that mass adoption. But we believe that within 5 to 10 years of time, the way we interact, the way we provide service will be of a big difference against nowadays. So we have to gear up ourselves. Now, take for example, when we talk about how we deal with innovations is, probably you don't know, we are actually the first one to launch digital wallet in Hong Kong, even before the big Chinese player come to Hong Kong. Now we work with the regulator around how a telco serving the majority of local population, how we can stimulate the competition. Most importantly, is to work with the regulator to create a kind of level playing field in terms of compliance and standard, cybersecurity, and data privacy, so that everybody will have this level playing field to work on. So this is where we're coming from. Now, we do worry about how good our digital wallet is doing. I was always been challenged, is still not break even. But I think more at HKT is around, we also worry about if our customers is using other competitors' wallet. What is the kind of experience that we are doing? If everybody is relying on the internet for payment and even virtual banking, is our infrastructure resilient enough to support such critical applications? We worry about if all these mass adoptions can be able to serve those elderly, those people who are not very sophisticated, not that mobile savvy. So I guess the role that HKT is playing is really around bridging.
Bridging, yeah.
A month ago, I talked to a really Web3 native guys, and he asked, what would be your potential contributions from a Web2 company into the Web3 world? Yeah. And at the top of my mind, I would say, I think all the Web3 native guys, they do use phone, right?
That's right.
They do play games.
Yep.
They do worry about the quality of connectivities, and they do eat, right?
Yes.
Right? So I think the role that HKT is playing is really to bridge the Web2, the ecosystem into the Web3 ecosystems. And of course, we need to do something. We need to gear up ourselves, provide the infrastructure, provide the resilience, provide the user experience convenience, so that Web3 activities can go mass adoptions for the wider good. So this is what HKT is doing nowadays.
Super. All right. So one last question, which is that, especially given the collaboration that we're announcing today, and how you're leveraging our programmable wallets platform for consumer loyalty and engagement, I'm just dying to know, what potential do you see for that? What does sort of nirvana look like?
While the FinTech Week is all talk about digital currencies and all that, I think we're very, very happy to work with a sort of a experiment with Circle. We try to develop a new generation's loyalty platforms, and I think that there are a few key features that I want to share is quite interesting. It's like, with the Web3 platform, we allow our merchants to sort of program their wallet, program the loyalty program, based on their logistics and logics. Say, for example, the ticket size, the frequency of visits, so that to program their own loyalty program within our platform, not just for HKT, but for their own. It's also interesting that all these vouchers can be exchanged between users. Instant settlements freely be transferred amongst the tiers. And down the road, probably a merchant A voucher can be exchanged with merchant B vouchers. Okay. Doesn't it sound like a kind of means of exchange?
Kind of does.
Okay. So I think the approach we are taking is we try to start more, build the pillars, gear up ourselves, build a technical team, get the talent. So whenever the wave of digital currency is coming, we are here to serve the Hong Kong populations. So, and I'm very happy to work with the Circle team. There is a lot of exchange of experience, and I'm also very glad to see there is a lot of new products just
that you just saw
announced. And hopefully we can create the most out of it and try to create the kind of service that Hong Kong people love.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, I think what's interesting about what you're saying is you're really underscoring in these last examples, the programmability, which is what's so exciting. There's the work we're doing with you. There's work we're doing with other partners and customers where you can truly program this, and whether it's for loyalty programs or whether it's for a means of exchanging value and moving money. The programmability component is what is so brand new, and I think is going to really just unleash utility in all sorts of ways that we haven't even envisioned before.
But I also see there is a lot of challenge in the way, because I think the two key challenge is the complexity of a blockchain wallet. Is still very clunky to the general mass.
Very clunky.
Web3 native, not a problem. But if we want to go mass, we need to, how to create a kind of frictionless user experience is important. And secondly, we need to prove that the kind of latency that we experience in the, even on the layer 2 chain, is still not significantly different from the Web2 technologies. But I think there is a lot of way to improve the kind of user experience, and both teams have to work together and try to figure out how we can create the business case for, transform into the Web3 technologies. So this is something also very challenging for our tech team.
Excellent. Monita, thank you very much. It also, I was at an event this morning and I asked the audience a pop quiz, which was, how often do you see two women on a stage who are leading at the leading edge of their company's leading edge. And the quick answer is not very often. So it's a particular pleasure for me to interview you today. Thank you. And so if we can give a round of applause for Monita. Thank you very much.
Thank you.